online schools before this pandemic even started, and I don't have to do some kind of push-ups or any kind of bullshit. I just have to finish an exam or something like that.
Oh, we're at my online school. We're like near the end.
Yeah, I actually ended it in April,
I see.
so I have extra month free.
School has an unusually long summer break, so I'm excited for that. But at the same time, I never get an academic rest.
Accidentally
Right, let's do this.
streamed it on the wrong stream. So
Okay.
Alright,
I started streaming like a minute
I
ago.
see it.
Let us go, gentlemen.
The Too Late Who Gives a Shit, a show in which I talk about something that's already been
Alright, the intro is kind of funny.
Okay.
What is he talking about?
I'm gonna go.
something that's already been thoroughly reviewed, debated, that every possible opinion has been expressed over, and that no one wants to hear anything about ever again. Making this video.
Oh, it's about The Last Jedi. Wait, is he like flaunting his subscriber count?
Yes, he's a kind of person that
He's
thinks...
showing that it's gonna. I mean, sort of, but he's saying, "Please don't unsubscribe to me."
I
Yeah.
don't really care, but it's a little funny.
A really dumb fucking idea. Let your fan base die. Kill it, if you have to.
Alright.
That's not what you want to do.
This guy admits this guy's asking to die. Alright, let's continue.
But I think it's fair for me to talk about the film when every corner of the internet is still oozing hatred for it. Watch a video of kittens playing, and someone is shitting on The Last Jedi beneath it. The prequels had an...
I don't know, I find it funny.
Alright,
Yeah.
So Farrell, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever heard of the Twilight movies?
Oh yes, everyone has heard of those.
Yes. What do you hear what do you constantly see everywhere when better
love story than Twilight.
Still a better love story than Twilight. What do you think of that? Oh well, I've never seen the movies, but something
Gonna be replaced by still a better love story than Raylo.
Well, you know, the guy is a pedophile. Oh my god, you're right. Well, to be honest, Kylo isn't really a pedophile. Like that other guy's like a 130-year-old.
He's an Onizi. He's an Onizi boy.
Well, anyways, like there's a very good reason why that joke is made, and that's because it's the worst love story ever, and it's really dumb and really bad. And The Last Jedi is like that, except it's, you know, like a full-blown blockbuster Star Wars movie. Like it's like, you know, like that's just how this goes. Like, I mean, to be honest, I don't. Oh, okay, to be honest, The Last Jedi deserves it. I was gonna say maybe movies don't deserve that much hate, but I was like, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
My controversial opinion is, if you like The Last Jedi, you shouldn't be a movie critic.
True.
Yeah, I agree.
Not for me.
Especially a filmmaker, because
if
you shit on George.
If you like it and you think it's well written, then you shouldn't be like it's.
Well, I mean, if you like it, then what you like is a bunch of flashy stuff, and you might as well look into a kaleidoscope.
Remember that moment with Major Lee where he's like, "This isn't Star Wars at all," sarcastically, as he shows nothing but explosions.
Yeah, mentions country, No Country for Old Men.
I
Says.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, continue.
Alright. God, Major Lee's a fucking dumbass.
You said No Country for Old. Oh, he said that. Oh, okay.
Yes, he's a fool.
I'll say this immediately: the action in the sequels is a lot different than the action in the prequels and OT. Prequels and OT, despite, you know, certain individual things that I think are kind of cheap, like they really handle themselves well. Like, you know, like one of the rules in the action of the movies is you get hit by a laser, you're pretty much dead. You know, so like that's
not anymore. Scratched by a lightsaber.
Well, typically in Star Wars, if you're shot in the chest by like one of those things, you die. Like and like Lucas does a lot with it. You know, like those scenes on Naboo where they're like in the first movie, in Episode 1, where they're like having this massive gunfight with droids. That was tense. You know, I mean, it probably had something to do with the fact that Duel of Fates was playing over it, but you know, like I definitely felt some tension there, and you see people like flying backwards and stuff after they get hit. Like the sequels, sometimes they fall backwards, sometimes they fall forwards. The smoke. There's no smoke when they get. Rogue One is like especially bad with this, where you just see stormtroopers get hit, and there's nothing, no smoke, nothing. They just sort of fall over after they get like touched. It looks terrible, but like I would say the action and the like it if I would like maybe
it's less tangible, feels more staged.
Action in the sequel is just cheap. It's just so cheap. Like it takes the worst parts of Star Wars and just like because like ships that blow up like really quickly. There's a sort of precedence for that in Star Wars. Like the Super Star Destroyer blew up pretty much for no reason when it touched the Death Star. Like, and I'm not saying it wouldn't blow up. I'm saying that it should maybe go a little bit in the Death Star before blowing up. But you know,
what are you talking about?
I'm talking about
when
this,
they ram.
Okay, in Episode 6, Speeder flies into the main deck of the Super Star Destroyer. That thing then crashes into the Death Star and blows up. It looks really bad. Like it's just one of those moments where I just sort of look at it, I'm like, okay, yeah. But it's precedence for that ships could blow up in retarded fashion. Like, but the thing is, that made sense. You know, like the guy's like, activate the shields, damn it! After they just got blown up, the emergency shields. And in that small window of time before they activated, Speeder flies in their ship, and it's lucky, but it doesn't feel like it's unearned or undeserved or whatever. Like the Last Jedi, just about every single ship that explodes just shouldn't have blown up. You know, like it's just all just like it's just all so like the bombers would have never succeeded if it made sense. In fact, I barely even think they would have made it out of the frickin' like hangar bay. Like,
would have just collided into each other.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't have collided into each other. They would have been blown up by TIE fighters just pretty much as soon as they got out. Because it's so poorly designed. And don't even get me started on the crate speeders. Those are the worst fucking designs in history.
Oh.
But the action.
Don't even have lasers.
This is a little bit of a sidetracking tangent, but it is related to The Last Jedi. But the action in the movie, it sucks. Like, it's just terrible. Like, it might look pretty, but that does not make a good action.
There's no logic to any of it. It's just pretty colors.
Yeah, well, what little logic is there is just really just said. Like, it's. I feel like that deleted scene with Phasma is just a perfect example. Like, 4 stormtroopers about to betray her. She just takes out a pistol, pew 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 pew, all dead. Wow.
Yeah. She moved like she was animated by in-source filmmaker. Like
the way she
like the scene was unfinished.
It's so dumb. But yeah, let's actually watch the video now.
Notoriously bad reception, but this almost seems worse, or at least more confusing, because this time critics mostly loved it.
At least more confusing.
Critics don't count. Sorry.
There are only like 400 critics who reviewed the movie.
Rotten Tomatoes critics have no sort of authenticity. They're not real critics.
to be honest, that doesn't even matter because, like, you shouldn't consider, like, all right. So there's a lot of like reviewers, and like they, like I used to love Angry Joe. You guys are probably surprised with that. Like, I didn't know his opinion. I didn't know his opinions.
Look, man, I used to love Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah, me too. I like Angry Joe still, but not as much.
I do still like him. He's not 100%.
I used to like Cosmonaut.
But like, the thing is, Angry Joe, like he's a perfect example. He knows a lot about video games. His movie takes are like 50-50. If it's a movie he likes and he knows a lot about, he's actually pretty good. If he hasn't, if he doesn't know anything about it, yeah, he's pretty terrible. Like, you shouldn't look like especially with a movie that has as much controversy as this surrounding it, where there's just people. The reason I'm so verbose about this whole thing is that I've already seen the video, and like later in the video, he says something along the lines of, "I don't think anyone, would be bought out." Like he's just straight up like ignorant of the. They're fucking liars.
He buys his own tickets.
They're liars, all right? Like I'm sure that some of them like legitimately liked it because it's a very emotionally charged film. But this is I'm sort of running around in circles. I think what I'm just trying to say is, so what? So what if they liked it? That doesn't make the movie good. That's just saying that they liked it. I mean, for Christ's sake,
it's not even an argument.
What does Revenge of the Sith have on Rotten Tomato?
88%.
88?
Huh.
Oh.
No.
Critics, though.
I guess they are a little, I guess they're a little legitimate then. All right. Well,
I mean, you can't say that, because they might.
Oh yeah, you are right. Like, Revenge of the Sith should probably get 100 score.
No, I'm saying is like, if it's a movie you like, this is depending on. It was definitely the action and the CG that convinced the critics it's good because,
Yeah, it's a lot of loud noise signifying nothing. But if you think it does, then it seems pretty grand. I need to let the video play. I don't know why. Yeah.
The movie. With the final chapter of the story looming, I wanted to entangle myself in this clusterfuck of a thing by offering a breakdown of why I think the film is good. But first, by watching this video, you certify that you are a mature adult, capable of considering opinions contradictory to your own without taking severe offense and organizing harassment. This video is only one fan's opinion presented for entertainment purposes. It is intended for individuals with a sense of humor. If you do not have one, then you are encouraged to watch something else. Now, with that.
Okay, this stupid thing of like putting these disclaimers is so dumb.
No,
this
you're open to criticism if you think that movie is good. If you like it, then you're not open to criticism.
This should be the precedent for your reviews. If you have to put this disclaimer, then your review is probably flawed.
This guy over here.
I mean, all reviews are flawed.
This guy over here, his face is how I react to what he just said.
Oh, DJ.
Yeah.
I have oh, sure, all right.
Alright, whatever.
This guy is such a wasted.
That out of the way, we can talk about how Star Wars fans are the very worst people. Just the dumbest. Oh, shut up. You stay. Fuck you. All that fans kept saying.
Well, I didn't stay, so what about me? I didn't watch any of the three sequel trilogy films.
I watched all of them in theaters. One was
Oh.
with my young cousin, and who?
Why would you do that to yourself?
Well, my nephew.
I voluntarily watched the first two. I was practically dragged along into watching the third one.
I watched when I saw that they decanonized the EU, I was already off the boat.
I watched Solo for my birthday. I watched Rogue One for my friend's birthday. I watched The Last Jedi from my friend's birthday also, and I watched The Rise of Skywalker for my cousin's birthday.
I love.
Jesus, a lot of shitty birthdays.
You know what I love? Like I was going to the theater, like 5 months ago, and I saw Jumanji, and like the part 2 thing, and I just thought to myself, what world do I live in where Jumanji is a better option than the newest Star Wars film? I mean, actually, the first Jumanji, like the original 1995, is legendary.
True.
But, like it's not like a super ultra epic movie, but it's definitely like legendary. But like these films are, I'd say, pretty damn good. Like it's just go watch this movie, not The Rise of Skywalker. Why would I? Jesus Christ.
They're fun and they're competent, mostly.
No, like,
unlike The Rise of Skywalker.
Like Mahler failed and said in the Rise of Skywalker video, he said they're desperately clinging. I can't do a British accent.
Desperately clinging
to be anywhere near as good as the prequels.
Desperately.
And
This is the lowest point that they've sunk this far, that they're desperately clinging to be anywhere as near as good as the prequels.
No, that's how far Disney sunk this franchise, is what he said. But the reason he failed there is because the prequels aren't bad. So that would be like saying that they're desperately clinging to be as good as the OT. But honestly, he should have just said they're desperately clinging to be as good as, like, well, I don't even know what scale you would put, The Rise of Skywalker. Like I despise all 3 films.
Desperately clinging to be as good as The Room.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, The Room, it's like, I think the underlining story of it makes sense. You have to go deeper to like films that are like equal disappointment, disaster failures, like Highlander 2 or something like that. Although that's probably more fun to watch.
Yeah, at least it looks but
Highlander 2 looks better.
Just joking.
No. It probably does look better because it has Michael Ironside before he got ultra old. And So that automatically makes the movie a 10 out of 10. So I feel bad for mentioning it.
Really?
Any of you guys even know who he is? He's the voice of Sam Fisher.
Yes, I know Michael Ironside.
Everybody go buy and play Splinter Cell after the stream is done. Let's continue this.
I suck at stealth games.
After
Probably.
the prequels wanted movies like the originals again. I'm not sure they understood what that meant, because those films were made under completely different circumstances, when Star Wars was silly.
Didn't think it was gonna be any good. Right?
Whatever.
When Star Wars
like
was...
Leia's your sister. I said, oh, come on.
Hair and weird buns on the side.
Hello. Welcome to
Star Wars should be simple.
welcome to Out of Contextville. Here, we take things out of context.
More like whataboutismville.
At this point,
I honestly,
it's gonna relate to The Last Jedi or the
What do
prequel.
you want to? What aboutism is?
what aboutism?
Aboutism is where you say, but what about the prequels? You hate them, so you should hate them.
Where you compare something to another something to justify that something's flaws.
Yeah, you could use it to justify anything.
Rey using the Force isn't overpowered because Luke did it, and that makes him overpowered too.
Yeah, retarded logic right there.
Imagine Luke like sits down next to Rey and talks to her like he did Leia, and like the line, "You have that power too," and it's like changed to "You're overpowered too." Rey, you're overpowered too. I gotta be honest with you, she doesn't seem overpowered to me because, like, if you have video games where you have like overpowered enemies or whatever, they'll die eventually. She just has fucking God mode. She's just blatantly cheating.
Turned on invincibility.
And she's still losing, so she's pressing like the kill command to kill the AI. Like it's just
or join them.
Privileges.
I mean, how else would you describe the disappearing knife? Like that's just straight up like a kill command when you're in a grip and you can't get out, even though you have God mode.
Also froze the guy.
She teleported it somewhere else.
That's a good point. He doesn't even fucking move. That's by the way, that's a hilarious thing about the choreography no one has mentioned. Him getting stabbed in the leg should probably make him fall over before she hits him in the neck. So, the way so in other words, he gets hit in the leg, and he doesn't react. He doesn't care. Nothing. Then he's hit in the neck. Oh, now I fall over. Okay.
Well, to be fair, it's not as bad as the other two egregious errors with.
Well, the thing is that he's perfectly
within that 3-second clip, 3 seconds.
He's perfectly set up for that pathetic cut to the neck, and it doesn't even go into his. I'm working on a video where I voice all the Praetorian guards, and I'm with how thin the cut is, I just want to have it that he's still alive and he falls down, and then the other guy who fell into the ventilation, the electricity machine, he lost his clothes. He's oh my god, where did your clothes? Holy shit!
No, I think it was just ripped apart in there.
So, by the way, what purpose do those machines serve? There's no electricity in the throne room.
Let's save that conversation for later, so we can get through the video more.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I clicked a little bit back.
Movies like the originals again. I'm not sure they understood what that meant, because those films were made under completely different circumstances, when Star Wars was silly.
Didn't think it was gonna be any good. Whereas I didn't.
Leia's your sister. I said, oh, come on.
Her hair and weird buns on the side.
I said, this is the goofiest thing I've ever read. You gotta read this. I passed it all around because nobody cared.
We have large dogs flying spaceships. You describe it and people will say, oh dear.
The Wookiee has no pants.
Lucas originally wanted to do Flash Gordon and couldn't get the rights to it, so he cobbled together ideas from westerns and samurai films to make his own space adventure.
What he made me think of is the Japanese sword master.
It was so unoriginal that it doubled back on itself and became original again.
What?
Whoa.
That's not how originality works.
Alright, listen up. Alright, listen up.
Ideas from older projects to create something new.
Right,
because of the way that he...
No, he's inspired by something and tries to...
So unoriginal. Original.
Alright, so Mr. Farrell, it's called creative
legacy.
What did you say?
Creative legacy or creative tradition.
Well, actually that might be even better than what I was about to say, because it's definitely a creative tradition, but it's Godelb. It was so unoriginal. Yeah, he definitely Godelbed that, but it's that. I mean, what the hell do I even have to say about it? He's correct. He's just saying it in the most retarded way imaginable. Also, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things to Star Wars that haven't been done before. Obviously, a lot of it is copied.
Star Wars was saved and the Unreached down.
A lot of it is copied, but I'm pretty sure that some of the like the designs for R2 and stuff, it's all inspired on other things, but inspired means to breathe in, and you breathe in other movies and then breathe out your own, if you get what I'm saying. It's how that works. But yeah,
I catch your drift.
This is like saying that you fell really far down, but there's more guys. There's guys where you land, so you double back on top of them, and that broke your fall. So that's
like saying 2 explosions makes you survival.
I think that analogy was bad, but I don't care. It's stupid.
Survive 2 explosions because the explosions cancel each other out.
Your mic is very unhearable right now, but we'll continue.
Know what Star Wars was when it released.
Fuck off! They didn't know what it was. It's Star Wars.
Wars in the stars, as Cosmonaut says.
They weren't
didn't
fucking.
know what.
Was it?
Yeah. Go on. Go on.
They didn't know what the film would. I don't know what would happen in that film. They would, but they know what the title was, what it meant.
The title doesn't lie. Like it's definitely a Star Wars. Like it's
Yes. It's not as confusing title as, I don't know, Half-Life.
Rise of Skywalker.
Half-Life is not a confusing title at all. Half-Life is reference to radiation. Radiation, nuclear waste, like as it comes to a certain specific length that it exists, it then gets cut in middle. It's called Half-Life. It's a weird effect, but say it like
decreases quadratically, so like
if you have radiation for like 50 years, then the next batch of years is 25, and normally it would be like 100 years before it's gone. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not how Half-Life works. Decreases half, and then decreases a quarter, and then it decreases an eighth, and then it keeps continuing.
Yeah, of course, but Half-Life is named after that effect of radiation, so it does make sense. It's just more science stuff. But
yeah.
Fun fact: I've gone through the game files of that game. I think they only had 2 voice actors.
Well, not really, but kinda.
I'll tell you about it later. Let's continue watching the video.
Audiences had never seen anything like it. They had to be shown what it was by Lucas in the subsequent.
Now that is the
filmmakers. But it turned out to be a story they all knew. Lucas heavily based the plot on classic mythology, especially Joseph Campbell's writings on the hero's journey. Star Wars
based them on samurai movies, cowboy movies, and like
Skywalker's character is so much more than just the hero's journey.
It's like putting going down to underworld to save your father. Jesus Christ. Star Wars is pretty simple.
Yeah. I mean, it's just. I'm starting to get a bit like. But I've seen way too many people be like, "Oh, it's required for a movie."
Yes.
No, it's not.
Fun fact: there was one show. It's a superhero show named The Tick, and the first season has 12 episodes, and I think all of them are just one point of the hero's journey. I think so.
Oh, okay.
Interesting enough, but yes.
Sure, that's thousands of universal to every culture.
Psychological years, and people still react the same way.
Lucas took that mythology and told it on the biggest scale it had ever been told on before, which is the ultimate achievement of Star Wars. A generation was forever changed by these movies. To the people that grew up with Star Wars, it's not just a movie they watch, it is their childhood. Star Wars is no longer silly, it's sacred. And this is where...
Take a shot? Wait, what? Take a shot to the head?
Because
I think it's more. I think it was supposed to be take the shot. I didn't shoot him, but
now everyone in the theater thinks they know what Star Wars is better than the filmmaker, and who could tell?
All right, so Star Wars is not. It's not our childhood. There's a lot of other movies like Lord of the Rings. Okay, the original trilogy is a thing that these older guys watched, but it's. I mean, it's definitely a big part of it. But I mean, like saying that gives credence to the idea that George raped it in the prequels, which he didn't. So I mean, I don't like this way of phrasing it. Like it's. I mean, that's like saying that I don't know. I don't know. What's it? Oh yeah, the Bible. It's like saying that the Bible was a childhood. Like I don't think so.
Well,
I think it's more like a really good thing that's in your life that just stays forever. I don't want to think about it that way. Like that. Oh, now it's that I'm older, it's different. Like it's, I don't know. I'm giving this guy a little bit too much crap. What he says here is correct. I just know that he's going to use it for something incorrect, and I could just sense it, and that instantly just makes me want to not listen to what he has to say, or well, actually just counter everything.
Yeah, responding to this video was a mistake.
Like there's a counter just on the right top of the screen that you can't see. It's like when he starts to say something idiotic, and it's like 20 seconds now.
Because now everyone in the theater thinks they know what Star Wars is better than the filmmaker, and who could tell them they're wrong? These directors are just fans like anyone else. Everyone was impacted by the movie.
That's actually kind of right. What the hell?
Wait, what was right?
Well, that who can tell them they're wrong? For criticizing directors, because Rian and JJ. I was thinking about which is the best insulting one, but yeah, Jar Jar Abrams. Like they're just fans, so they're open season to be criticized. But I think he's about to shit on George now.
So everyone has their line in the sand, their vision for what the characters should be, and any new story is inevitably going to alienate one part of the fanbase or the other. Especially since the fan image of the...
What about the original trilogy and Revenge of the Sith? Those don't really alienate people.
Right,
well, they alienate some people.
Alright, look. There's always going to be people who are disappointed. But being alienated would require your idea or what you want to be entirely discarded and specifically insulted and ignored. You can't have people just alienate. It's you know, like they don't get what they want. In fact, that's the whole nature of the prequel hate, that a large part of the fandom didn't get what they want, so they complain about it forever.
Yeah.
Oh,
God damn it, the story around the prequel is so depressing.
No, wait. And then,
honestly, I feel like we should. This is like 37 minutes, so I feel like we should just cut to the chase on this guy, because I've already seen the Mahler video. Let's just
okay.
I say we react when he gets to his point, as opposed to the individual things he says.
Okay. So
the originals has gotten so disordered that The Last Jedi ended up being heavily criticized for doing the very things those movies did.
Bullshit.
True.
Continue.
In fact, I would take it a step.
Actual footage of the Star Wars fanbase.
I get it, because they're divided and they're whiny.
Take it a step further and say that if The Empire Strikes Back had somehow only been released today to this fan,
kill him, Luke, for Christ's sake.
They would probably tear it apart.
Visual aberrations were never established in the prior canon. You can't just make abilities up.
Oh, please.
No.
Nothing to suggest that it's not possible. There's nothing to suggest. This Vader's
doesn't even matter. Because these movies are the canvas. They were to establish the universe.
Vader just choked the guy.
Vader's choking a man, just like he choked him in Episode 4, except now it's further away.
Yeah, it's not like he just ragdoll him like Snoke did with Hux.
That's a good joke.
I mean, this whole thing is stupid because, well, actually, no, I'm not going to say anything because there's just going to be more shit to counter. Prepare yourselves, lads.
Oh, he's Skype choking him through the TV.
Skype choking him.
Skype choking.
There's nothing to suggest that that's not possible.
You're looking for problems, bro. What can I say?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Pressurized space suit. It's negative 100 degrees on an asteroid. Stupid.
Oh.
Okay, that's.
They literally say there's like a lot of moisture in there.
Yeah, it's moist.
And they have to wear masks.
Oh wait, so
I see your point.
All right, let's continue.
Do you think the worm clothes?
Space rock fan. You can only survive in space for 10 seconds. I googled it. What is a creature like this even eating? How does the creature flying out to the remote ask?
I don't know how you're supposed to. Yeah. Go on, Airborne.
Field.
I am your father.
Oh, ruined my childhood. What a massive They ruined it. They ruined Luke's character and
That's impossible. It was 4 years ago. If you're in 1977 and you're like 4 and you watch that and then you watch this one 4 years later when you're 8, you're still in your childhood. You can't even say that.
Yeah.
Besides, it's not even a retcon. It was.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
It was accidentally set up in the last movie.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see him shit on the prequels, but if you're going to try and do this this ruin my childhood dog shit, then at least aim it at something that makes sense. I mean, what the hell? Like, the movies aren't exactly, like Disney, where they come out every year, but they do come out at reasonable, at a pretty good category of time. Like, you can't say this. This is.
Let's continue.
It isn't thinking about this.
Vader's character. Where's Vader's backstory? Fuck you, Irvin Kirshner.
Still with me? If you're not convinced, here's some examples, beginning with... The Force began as a vague metaphor for religion and kept changing form right up until the cameras began rolling.
Making dragon sounds. Yeah, that's
He didn't use the Force to do that.
Wait, he didn't use the Force to do that? What?
I'm pretty sure he just learned how to, imitate it since he was there for so long.
Yeah.
Why does it sound so ghostly then?
I don't know.
South Dakota. My name is Tyler.
I heard someone.
Shut up.
I heard someone say that. I heard someone say that the 2011 version is inferior to the 1997 edition. That guy's not alive anymore. Let's continue the video.
If you look at the scene in A New Hope, they don't exactly make the most sense together.
They fucking do?
I'll line up fine. But you have to introduce aspect before you can build upon it.
Alright, so let me explain this to you, you massive retard.
Jesus Christ.
When Obi-Wan disappears, alright, that's not him just disappearing. He fucking died there. The reason he disappears is because his body immediately gets taken away by the Force. Like, Vader cut his head off. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, he doesn't just disappear upon death. Come on, dude. It's like really obvious religious symbolism. Moving an object. The thing with the Force is that all the abilities more or less fall within the same
general area.
Yeah, like most of these are the exact same thing. Like hands-free choking and moving an object are the same thing.
Reflexes. That's literally just heightened senses.
Yeah, like
these things all line up with each other.
The thing is, the Force doesn't like. What's important is that it doesn't feel cheap and unrealistic and stupid. Like there's no magical,
and it doesn't contradict itself.
Like there's no Force ability that extends your legs so you can reach a surface that's like 100 meters above you. There's nothing that's like bullshit. Like it all follows and comes together in a way that's very nice, neat, and well
all
done.
of the powers are well defined and very consistent.
Yep.
Moving objects. You never see an object teleport. It's always just moving the object. Whereas with Luke's projection, there are consistencies with how the power works.
Oh God, I hope we could just get through this video because I'm already bored.
The Empire Strikes Back expanded those abilities, with Luke outright using telekinesis, gaining superhuman agility, and...
Oh, he was training and learned how to...
seeing through time. By the end of Return of the Jedi, the Emperor is shooting lightning out of his hands. It's fair to say that this was being made up as they went along, and that doesn't diminish...
What does that mean? This is the original trilogy. They have to establish force powers before they can build upon them.
Alright, so I'll tell you
They have to create things before they can put them into the rule set.
I'll tell you why the Empire shoots electricity from his fingers. It's because the Force is this wonderful, amazing thing. And it has so much awesome stuff about it. Yet, this evil dark guy, he's all scary and stuff, but he's like really old. How is he dangerous? Like he's powerful with the Force, and he can corrupt shit, and like it's like I'll agree with the idea that it's pretty like an out of nowhere, like holy shit power that he has, but thing is, he's the fucking Emperor. If he doesn't have some special superpower, then why are we supposed to fear him? That's the thing with him, is that he's a sneaky guy, worms his way into power, but when you like try and arrest him and stuff, he then suddenly does that. Like he's got, it's his last resort, and it's really cool. Like, obviously, Ultra Christopher Lee Sith guy can do it too, but that's just because he's Christopher Lee. I mean, why wouldn't he be able to? But, yeah, it's...
the Force in any way.
Yeah.
It was an incredibly flexible plot device. Something to move the story and characters along that could take...
It wasn't flexible, you fuck. You guys still there?
Yes.
Alright. I feel like I'm the only one talking at this point.
It sure feels like it.
It's not flexible. I don't care.
Take whatever force needed. This is a good illustration of how the Force was used. It doesn't matter that Luke can jump 20 feet in the air. That ability is never important to the story.
What are you talking about? It's how he escapes, you retard. Like, he could have... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Story. But knowing how literally fans take things, I assume there's a 20-page Wikipedia article about Jedi leg ligament.
No, that's probably true.
It's an ability to jump really high. It's really cool Jedi power. What can I say? It's not shoot down many ships just because you can. Like in The Rise of Skywalker, people look at the Force as magic, but I look at it upon like God, and God gives you powers and stuff. And these people that think it's magic, they always frustrate me because they have such less respect for it. They just think it could be whatever the fuck they want. Like it's, it's either like I always look at it as like, Force, God Force gives you a toolbox of abilities, and like you figure out what the hell you do with them just yourself. And he is just like, oh, it's just a magic box. I can take anything out of it I want in the moment.
That little Force leap that he did.
Yeah.
There actually was set up for that. He was doing flips on Dagobah during his training.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And then he did it on Bespin. It's your setup and payoff. You know what doesn't have that same setup and payoff? The sequels.
Mhm.
Sorry, man. Hate to burst your bubble, but that's what it is.
The context of Luke's character arc. He wanted to go off on an adventure and join his friends in fighting the Empire.
And then he magically won, because that's how that works. I am a strong believer in will. I believe that, and I genuinely believe in real life, you can take like twice, maybe 3 times as much damage as normal if you like really, really fucking want something, and like everything about you is focused on doing it. You know, like I don't know, plant a flag on a hill and people are shooting you in the back, and you do it anyway. It's something like that. Like it's like in Dawn of War, like that thing. But like, you can't just decide you win. All right. Like you could try to win harder, but you can't just decide to have powers. I mean, fucking hell! Imagine this shit in movie. Like, you know, I think maybe these people just don't understand a lot of things. Cause like when you watch movies, and the good guy randomly gets back up, he's not randomly getting back up. He's like the willpower to keep on fighting. And I guess these people must have just thought these guys always randomly get back up just cause. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know the moment
because the good guy has to win.
Well, you know, like in the movies, it's like I don't know what's a good example. Just any of those moments when he's at like the low point, the bad guy is almost winning.
Spider-Man in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1.
Yeah. Like he isn't randomly winning there, right? Like if he has a health bar, I say Spider-Man has like 1,000 health. At that point, he's like 400 health, and like the guy is going in for the kill, and he's still got like a lot in him. And then he's like, "I'm gonna kill your girlfriend." He's like, "No, fuck you." Then adrenaline, willpower, all that shit, all comes in. And then he's like powerful, but he's still the damage that was done to him earlier is still there. It's just that it doesn't matter because he's still strong enough to keep fighting hard. And the Goblin, by the way, is far weaker than him. He takes way less punishment before he's pretty much broken. But it's, you know, it's. I guess these people must just genuinely think that he just randomly won that fight, and that therefore these people should also randomly win. Again, that's not how it works. Like Peter kept fighting because he had power in him, and because he threatened the people he loved, which gave him a huge boost in "fuck you, I will kill you" energy. You know, like
it was part of his character arc.
Yeah, exactly.
It fit naturally within the story, unlike these unquote movies that have come out over these past 5 years.
Like it's just so arbitrary, you know. Like I mean, if you look at Rey, why does she win anything?
Because she's cool and she has the Force.
But like, what, like, you know, when that guy has the knife, like the other knife disappears, but like as she's like locked on with him, what is driving her to actually like win that engagement? Like, as far as I'm concerned, she could have all the. She could have. Oh. Well, you know, I just don't see anything with her. Like Luke in Empire, a lot of people say he got his ass kicked. I say he fought valiantly. If you watch the fight in Empire, Luke is woefully undertrained, woefully unprepared, woefully everything, but he fights hard and he fights bravely, and he manages to hit Vader in the arm. He fights like, you know, like this is the like episode 6 is the battle for his heart and soul and mind. Episode 5 is a battle for his life. Like Vader's going easy on him, admittedly, because he doesn't want to kill him because he's his son. But like otherwise, that whole fight he could very easily just get absolutely destroyed. But he keeps his cool, and he keeps, like again, Vader doesn't want to kill him, but he could have very easily if Luke, didn't pay attention or anything. That whole fight is so tense because Luke is giving it his all. He's going 125% and doing actually way better than he even should. I mean, he slashed Vader in the arm. Like that. He went hard, and you don't get any of that shit. Like it's fucking hell.
Rey doesn't try. She doesn't work for it. She just
like there were
the rocks. It's the guard. Kills Kylo.
There's a lot of movies that have characters that are like really good and they're like badasses and stuff, and they generally just kick everybody's asses the entire movie.
Okay.
But those guys, it's clear that they had a journey in the
I
past.
miss.
These new characters have nothing. You missed our suicide attempt. Vienna, are you still there?
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna go away. You guys, I'll be back in a few minutes. You guys keep covering this guy. And please, God, by the time I'm back, be at minute 10 at least, or else he'll explode.
Try.
He realized became the leader of the rebellion.
Now we're gonna try
He believed
that.
becoming a Jedi would make him an even more powerful warrior.
I'm looking for a great warrior.
Force not make one great.
He barely knew anything about the Force and fundamentally misunderstood what being a Jedi was about.
What?
Adventure. A Jedi craves not these things. Your weapons. You will not need them.
That's his point.
He struggled through a series of failures and was just beginning to make progress when he sensed his friends were in trouble. He arrogantly believed that he was powerful enough to handle the traps set for him and left against Yoda's warnings.
What's happening?
And in the ensuing fight, we see that Luke is powerful, performing superhuman feats of strength. Even Vader is impressed with his abilities.
Most impressive.
But as the fight goes on, Luke realizes that he's completely
They keep
outmatched.
rewinding.
The Force is much bigger.
I'm at 5 minutes 50 seconds.
I'm 5 minutes 50 minutes. 50 seconds.
Yeah. He is very basically explaining Luke's character arc in Empire Strikes Back.
But
I don't see how this pertains to The Last Jedi though.
This is much bigger than he knew.
it keeps rewinding for me.
Alright, let's go to 552. Maybe reload the page.
No. It's alright. It's okay for me. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Originally one criticized for doing the very thing.
It was
Diminished the Force and performing superhuman feat had been different. Maybe Luke could have used super speed instead. The literal form to handle the traps set for him.
Okay, I have to say one thing.
I mean, super speed wasn't very useful in the OT.
I have to say one thing about the prequels is that super speed's kind of stupid.
Like
they use it once and then they never use it again. Even though
I didn't like that.
Alright, in the Clone Wars
but
miniseries, they use it a lot.
Also use it sometimes in the Clone Wars
Yes, especially
animated
with
cartoon.
Yeah, Anakin versus Ventress
They never
fight.
ever use it in episodes 2 or 3 or throughout the duration of episode 1. I think that's pretty stupid, but I digress.
Were in trouble. He arrogantly believed that he was powerful enough to handle the traps set for him and left against Yoda's warnings. And in the ensuing fight, we see that Luke is powerful, performing superhuman feats of strength. Even Vader is impressed with his abilities.
Most impressive.
But as the fight goes on, Luke realizes that he's completely outmatched. The Force is much bigger than he knew, and his abilities amounted to nothing. This moment was just a stepping stone on the way to this moment. And they could have demonstrated Luke's power any number of ways. Jumping seems like it was just an arbitrary match for the layout of the freezing chamber.
Nope. It was set up before that he could use the Force to jump higher, and that's what he did there.
Room had been different, maybe Luke could have used super speed instead.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
The literal form the Force took didn't matter. It was always working in the service of the story and the characters.
Yes, working in the service of story and the characters, unlike Last Jedi, which just uses them as plot.
Gay stuff.
It just uses it as plot conveniences and ways
A
to.
pure can of plot convenience.
It literally just to make the plot happen. It's not intertwined with the story or characters at all.
But after years of worshipping these movies, fans demand that it work the other way around.
No, they didn't.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
And fans, the cool force powers were used to complement the plot, not make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, super speed was only used once, and they could have used other abilities, but he just wanted to show off that ability. You know, and I don't like that shot with the super speed. No, it's
important, and your story and characters had better work in the service of it.
The fuck?
What?
Oh.
The Force is a defined thing.
You know,
It's there. It's
the
real.
story doesn't revolve around the Force.
It has rules, and and the Force has to adhere to them.
Otherwise,
it's not just plot creator. No.
But you forgot the dark side of the Force. The pathway, many abilities.
All right, stop. I have that has become that has become a copy paste. All right, you're getting banned from Anomaly server.
Which one?
The AI core one. He's not on the gaming server.
No, I'm talking about which one of us.
Me.
Yes, him.
Come on, you can't ban Patrick Willems.
Oh, for fuck's sake, whatever. I was just joking.
Go.
And that means locking everything to only what was seen in the originals, with no more room for imagination.
You can use the Force powers that have been established in more creative ways. You can bend the rules a little bit to make reasonable Force powers. Because you can't make up crap like astral projection.
Yes. In Legend there were men.
Because it just doesn't work.
Alright. Okay. There are many Force powers that are okay, I don't know if they were real. I just watched one of the Lore Master videos. And one was that okay, whatever, let's continue. If I say it
Force works.
Oh yeah.
Only time they can question how the Force works.
Okay.
The 900-year-old puppet can come back as a blue ghost, but
that puppet isn't blue, and that bothers me. Like, it's not.
Let him finish.
Is blasphemy.
He says that the puppet can come back as a blue ghost, but he can't shoot a lightning bolt.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Because Force ghosts can't.
Force ghosts can.
They can't interact with other people. If they had the ability to shoot lightning bolts in the original trilogy, then they would have used them.
All right. Okay.
So that's not lightning. That's Force judgment.